Okay, so this week, oh my goodness, I read another short story from the anthology of 15 Asian Myths and Legends, which is edited by Ellen O. and Elsie Chapman. And this one, it jacked me up, y'all. It really, really did. So I read Still Star-Crossed by Sona Charaipotra. And I'm trying to figure out how I feel. Like I'm really struggling with naming the feeling that I've gotten after reading this book. Um, all I can say is that like my heart lurched. It's like, you feel it brought up those old feelings of like a love lost. So there's despair and sadness and loneliness, and then there's the twinge of love, like this longing. I don't know what you call that. I don't know what to name that feeling. So help me out with the emotionally intelligent word for this day, because I really don't know, but my heart, literally, my heart. I don't know. I don't know what to call that word. So let's just get right into the book. Like I said, it's called Still Star-Crossed, and it's about two lovers, and they're not really lovers. Like in this story, there's a young girl. Like imagine you're just living your life. You're a tween. Maybe she's 16. Let's call her 16. Because technically she sneaks out of the house. So she's like old enough to be going to a party, but young enough that her mama's like, you ain't going nowhere. She sneaks out of the house to go to this party with her friend, and there's this dude who approaches her. She doesn't know him, but she feels him. You know what I'm saying? You ever met somebody and it's like, I don't know you, but I feel like I should, you know? Um, and so it's this whole connection that's like, is this like something, some work of the cosmos? Like, what is happening? I don't know. I don't know. He approaches her though, and she like feels him on a level that's confusing, of course, because he's a total stranger. But he's saying all these phrases that she recognizes, and he has a way of looking at her and speaking to her that really resonates with her soul, and it feels like a reunion, but again with a person that she really does not know at all. So she's fighting herself like, I kind of want to entertain this dude and kind of talk to him, but I'm also a little concerned and alarmed that it's just strange that I feel like I should know you and I don't. And then her friend, of course, is like hating in the back, but they keep meeting up. Actually, he's kind of stalking her a little bit. Every time she leaves and like runs away from him, he finds her somehow. And so they go hang out, her and her friend, her girlfriend, and get some food. After the club, he shows up. They bounce. And then she has a moment where she's talking to her mom at their shop. And her mom tells her a story about a love from long ago when she was a young girl. And that's a really, really cool moment because it's rare. I mean, at least for me, those moments when you get to speak to your parents and relate to them as people instead of, your parent. You see your dad as a boy and your mom as a girl, and you have the woman to woman or woman to man moment with them. And in your mind's eye, you can see their whole life play out, and they're just like you. And it's this eerie thing. And as I've gotten older, I can really relate to that scene in the book because I've realized how similar I am to my parents and specifically my mom. And sometimes when I look at my own relationships and my own journey, it's like it sort of feels like I'm getting a second chance at a life I don't remember living before this one. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. This story was just strange and relatable, um, in the sense that like sometimes people and your relationship to them or your relationship with them, they can make you feel like you've been here before and kind of like your life is a puzzle and you're just trying to figure it out. Like there's something you didn't get right before and maybe you have a second chance. Like I feel like that sometimes. And I look back on these short 27 years like, damn, girl. And I wonder to myself, like, am I doing this right? And I wonder if I'll get another go to make up for the things that I know that for sure I've gotten wrong. And again, I wonder, like, if at the end of all this, I'll find out what the hell this was all about. But yeah, like I said, somehow life sometimes feels like it's just one big puzzle that has everything to do with love. And because there's love, I know there also has to be loss. But ah, in this book, it made me feel like I should not run anymore. And it reminds me of the times that I've chosen wrong. But I'm remembering that when I have chosen wrong, it wasn't for a lack of love. But read this story. There have been a lot of details. I mean, I'm communicating my thoughts in this like jumbled way. It's all over the place, but it just, I don't know. Like I said, it's like eerie and good and like heart wrenching to read and relate to this story and these characters and like feel like this is me and my mom. So read it. Still star-crossed, Sona Charaipotra, and this is a really short story. Short and bittersweet, just like the last one. Let's move on to the so what. Why does this matter? It matters to me because it made me feel something. Um, Something cherished, something painful, something I can't quite name, but it's something and it's important. So I want to challenge you guys this week to do a couple things. First, feel something, name it if you can, unlike me, and to also share a story about love, speak to your parents about love. I'm going to also immerse myself in some Bollywood films and like learn a little bit more about the legend and the myth in this story. This is a retelling of a Punjabi folktale about Mirza and Sahiba. So I want to learn some more about them and some of the other lovers in Punjabi culture. Ah, yeah, man. Shout out to the author of this book. Shout out to We Need Diverse Books. Shout out to you guys for listening to this episode. I think we're on number 13 this week. Um, so yeah, man. Tweet me, hit me up, tell me about some of your love stories, lessons learned, and your take on this love story. And I will talk to you guys next week.